The Lost Letter. The Return of Autumn. This year, autumn arrived later than usual. The maple leaves outside the porch were still green, with only a few starting to turn golden. Mary Thompson sat in her old rocking chair, clutching a warm cup of tea, the steam blending with the crisp October air. Her eyes gazed down the narrow road leading into town, where memories lingered like the morning mist. She had lived in this house for over 30 years, but every autumn brought back echoes of a past she had tried to bury, faded letters, unfulfilled promises, and a name no one had spoken in a long time: Michael Carter. The unexpected letter. The doorbell rang, breaking her reverie. Mary slowly stood up, her heart beating faster than usual. She wasn't expecting anyone. When she opened the door, she found a middle-aged man in a postal uniform, holding an envelope worn with age. "Mrs. Thompson, we found this letter in an old storage unit. It seems to have been lost for years. It was addressed to you." She took the letter, her eyes fixed on the familiar handwriting on the envelope. The careful, deliberate strokes read, "To Mary Thompson." Her hands trembled as she opened it. The paper inside was old, but the ink remained clear. "My dearest Mary, I don't know if this letter will ever reach you. If you're reading it, I may already be gone. But I need you to know that I never forgot you. On the last day before I left for war, I wrote this letter but never had the chance to send it. If someone has found it and delivered it to you, then the only thing I want you to know is this: I have always loved you from the first day and forever after. I'm sorry I never came back. I'm sorry I made you wait. But I hope you found happiness. If you can, remember me as a beautiful memory, not a painful one. Forever yours, Michael." The letter slipped from her hands. Everything around her blurred as memories flooded in like a storm. 40 years ago, Mary and Michael had grown up together in a small town in Vermont. He was 3 years older, with eyes as blue as the summer sky. They had fallen in love in high school, dreaming of a future together. A small house, children playing in the yard, and evenings watching the sunset from the porch. But war had changed everything. In 1969, Michael enlisted. He wrote to Mary every week, telling her about the exhausting days, the homesickness, and his unwavering love for her. But then the letters became less frequent. And one day they stopped altogether. Mary waited in agony, but no news came. A year passed. Then two. Finally, she received a telegram from the military. "We regret to inform you that Sergeant Michael Carter has been reported missing in action." She never knew what really happened to him. There was no body, no closure. Only an emptiness that time never filled. The search for truth. The lost letter changed everything. If Michael had written it, he hadn't died immediately. But what had happened to him? Mary needed answers. She reached out to an old friend who had served in the military. After weeks of searching, they discovered that Michael hadn't died on the battlefield. He had been captured as a prisoner of war. He had spent years in captivity before succumbing to illness in 1975. And the letter? A fellow soldier had kept it but never had the chance to send it. Mary couldn't believe what she had uncovered. During all those years of imprisonment, had he thought of her? Had he dreamed of coming home? She found an old military record listing the names of prisoners who had been released at the end of the war. Michael's name was not among them. The thought of what he might have endured broke her heart. An unexpected visit. One autumn afternoon, as Mary sat on her porch with a cup of tea, a car she didn't recognize pulled into her driveway. An older man stepped out, his eyes filled with emotion. "Are you Mary Thompson?" "Yes. Can I help you?" "I'm James Carter. Michael was my brother." Mary froze. James handed her an old journal. "We recently found this in a box of family belongings. It belonged to Michael. I thought you should read it." She opened the journal, its yellowed pages filled with neat handwriting. Michael had written about his days in captivity, his hopes of returning to her, and a love that had never faded. The final chapter. This autumn had arrived late, but eventually the leaves turned golden like they always did. Mary sat on her porch, the letter and journal resting in her lap, as if time had never erased the presence of the man she had loved. She closed her eyes, letting the memories wash over her. In her mind, Michael's warm smile remained as vivid as ever. And in that moment she no longer felt alone. Because love did not only live in the past, it lingered in the words on a page, in the whispers of the autumn wind, and in the deepest corners of her heart. She pressed the letter to her chest and whispered softly, "Michael, you never truly left. You've always been here with me." Somewhere in the rustling of falling leaves, there seemed to be a reply, a love that had never been lost. Thank you for listening. See you in the next stories. Please subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell to get updates on new videos. Thank you.